Hi, James Hayden here. Are you interested in sales tips? Check out the book. However you want to consume it, it's available. Beyond the book, things that aren't in the book. Go over two things today. One, how potential clients look at you when you meet with them. It's really important. People judge. Most of us are involved in a business that is somewhat of an intangible, or there are services tied to it. And that's really, really important. That's one. Two is, how the heck did we come up with this methodology, the sales methodology? So let me cover the first one. And I learned this early in my career, that early mentors who happen to be a client as well told me that when people come into business, big Fortune 500 company, that the one thing they look at is that person's attention to detail, or the person's shoes scuffed up, that kind of thing. Because there's no other way to evaluate whether your company is going to deliver great services. It is attention to detail. So, your clothes messed up, or their food spots on them, that kind of thing. He said they absolutely evaluated people based on, like, their shoes. Are they scuffed up? Is there a shine on the shoe? Do they look put together? I know people should be judged based on their own character. The reality is that's important. Another situation where that came up was with a small consulting company I was working with. My good friend Mike Yinger was the CEO of the company, and the CTO of the company and I were at our final presentation with this company. And we're two factors on how we earn the business. We're competing against huge consulting firms like Accenture and PwC, and we're a little boutique consulting company. Mike has an amazing attention to detail. They'd asked to deliver the document in a digital format and in a paper format as well. A paper format, everything was perfect. We need to pay a little bit extra to have the gold colored paper clips on there. That attention to detail, to them, they mentioned what a difference that made. And it differentiated us in some other ways too from other companies. But those things are noticed. Your appearance, how you present your company's solutions to an organization, super important. How did we come up with this methodology? It took me 17 years of stumbling about to figure out people buy for their own reasons. That's it. People buy for their own reasons. Same client. We're in a meeting with Hewlett Packard. We're a little tiny consulting group. Got to know them, the names of their spouses and children, and that are sales 101. What I discovered is 3 months on this massive project. It was a multi-million-dollar project. Had big competition, and developed really a relationship with the people in the organization. And I was the chief salesperson, and so I'd open and close the meeting. The close of the meeting, we'd gone through everything that they'd asked for. I had 4 pages of all the reasons they should be doing business with our company. And as I thought about it, and I thought about the people in that company, it was a new business for Hewlett Packard. It was really important. It was what they called a hero or zero project. In other words, they were going to be heroes if it worked, and zeros are maybe gone if it didn't work. The point where I was supposed to wrap up. Here are all 4 pages of reasons to do business. And I went off script. I just thought, for Ken and the other people at Hewlett Packard, this is really, really important for them that they succeed. And I said, in a heartfelt way, 4 pages of reasons for you to choose our company. What's really, really important is, why would you choose our company? We've been together for 3 months now. Why would you choose our company? Well, because I'd gone off script. Mike and Todd, the other people from our company, one of them was kicking my shins, like, get back on track. What was interesting is I asked the question, why would you choose our company? It's important for you to analyze, to come up with that reason. And then I shut up. There was 30 seconds of the longest silence ever. So what happened? They said, well, there was an interface, blah, 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 that we're concerned about, that, you've worked on, I'm talking tech jargon, the API for. Our CTO said, we've done that with Toyota and blah, 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 3 or 4 other companies. They were going, we're concerned about that. From that point on, an interesting psychology or shift happened. They talked about how much they liked our business. I pulled away from them. Psychology. If you push too hard, people pull away. Try it. If you pull away, people come towards you. Anyway, that's what happened. And we ended the presentation. The folks, the people I was with, were a little concerned that I'd gone off script. What happened? This was on a Thursday. The next Tuesday, we were awarded the business. So people buy for their own reasons. There's some psychology involved in terms of push-pull that's important to flag and understand. That's it for the day. Those are some sales tips and sales stories, and that's how the methodology was developed. The book, I met Hal, co-author, of the book, and he was teaching people how to do this. So this shortcut, that for an organization, had an impact on numerous people in terms of their success, and their fortunes, frankly, a number of companies. So we know this works. That's how we got there.